All right, y'all, what's going on? SBN Resonate, bringing you what I know, the knowledge that I have of things. The MPC one and a lot of other gear like synths and drum machines. I know how overwhelming for people that are just getting into this. I know how overwhelming it can be. But I'm going to specifically talk about the MPC one in this video. If you're someone that just got the MPC one, when you first get on there, everybody talks crap about stock kits and stock sounds. But let me tell you, when you get on there, there is way more than enough, for you to create great music. I don't know why everyone talks about stock sounds. Well, actually, I do know why people get on stock sounds and they say what they say, because they want you to buy their product that is so much better when actually it's not. They're just going in there and putting effects on things and, trying to sell it for money. And I don't have anything against people that do that, but that's what it is. All you have to do is maybe put some effects on the stock sounds and you're there. I already made about 10 beats on this thing that are phenomenal. And I mean, I know, because the music that people listen to, I know and understand music. I'm not bragging. I've been making music my whole life. I know what a vibe and a feeling is, but I'm just telling you, there is way more than enough. Like, you're going to be overwhelmed if you're someone like me. You're going to be overwhelmed with how many sounds and how much capability the MPC one has. A lot of guys say that they have like 10, 15, 20 expansion packs in their MPCs. I'm like, how can you do it? It's brain overload. It's like, I don't know if you're looking for like extraterrestrial, out of this world sounds, but it's just crazy, because I go through the stock sounds on the MPC one, and that word stock is bullcrap to me, because there's sounds on there that are really, really thought out, and the kits are well thought out. You know what I mean? It ain't like someone just threw sounds on there and just said, oh, we're just going to throw some sounds on here and see what they can do. No, they put these kits together to where the dynamic and the pitch of the sound is just right for that kit. And I only went through, probably 2% of the kits. I only went through 15, 20 kits so far, and there's like hundreds on there. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I noticed that a lot of people are talking about how music is just like a repeat. Everything sounds the same. Everybody's being the same and doing the same thing. And here's what I would say to you. And it ain't no kind of secret sauce or any of this stuff, but I would tell you, use stock kits, because no one else is using them. No one else is using those sounds. So why not use them and make something out of them? And when people say, hey, what were you making your music with? You say, oh, I was using the MPC one stock kits. And they'll go, oh, what? You were using the stock kits? See, we think that we need these expansion packs and this expensive stuff. And hey, listen, if that's what you want to do, you can do that. I don't have any problem with what you do or how you create music. But I'm telling you, it's a myth that you need so much to work with and you need so many really, really, really great sounds. Yes, you need great sounds, but you don't need so many, because you're not going to be able to create. And I'm stepping out of my car because it's getting dark real quick here. But yeah, I just don't know how. I really don't. I don't know how y'all don't get completely consumed by all these sounds that you get on these expansions and stuff. I mean, I'm used to working with a drum machine that has a couple hundred sounds with like 60, 70 synth sounds on it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm used to. And you see, back in the day, we all want to sample music from back in the day because they put the time and the effort into the little that they did have, and it sounds phenomenal. And that's what people want to sample today, is that stuff. Why do you think? Listen, there's like this great reset going on in music, and a lot of people, you're probably not going to understand anything I'm talking about, but I really think that there is this great reset going on where people are coming to their art senses, so to speak, and they're seeing that the way that we thought would work, it's not working. And people want to go back to the basics and look for sounds that people just threw out and to the side and to the curb, and now they're looking for that stuff. See, I'm this guy, I'm looking for like older type of sounds that nobody wanted to use. I'm looking for things that nobody is using or nobody is putting an effort into doing. That's the road I'm going down. If we're on a highway and everyone's going this way, I'm going this way, the complete opposite way. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the MPC one a little bit more here until it gets dark. Where I'm at, it's about to be dark. But this machine, if you have $700 to spend, plus a little tax, this machine is all that you need. It's all that you need. And an SD card and maybe like, a little keyboard, a MIDI keyboard or a keyboard with sounds that you can connect into it so you can play, instruments and synths with the keyboard, because it's hard to do it on the pads. But, and listen, I know that I'm not known. I know nobody really knows me as a musician or a producer or anything like that. But I just got my setup to where how I need it to do what I need to do. And since 2 days ago, I've been on this thing. I had it for a month now. The first week I got it, I got overwhelmed. I got completely overwhelmed by all the sounds. It was just too many sounds for me to comprehend what I could do with them, And I put it to the side for about 2 weeks, and I got back on it the other day. I learned how to sequence. I learned how to connect my other gear with it, my Boss RC505, my Roland JDXI. I didn't hook that up yet, but I know how to hook it up now. But it's just, when I think of it, I'm thinking of you musicians that you're getting so overwhelmed and you're not really creating nothing because you have too much stuff to work with. Plain and simple. There's just too much stuff. You don't need hundreds and hundreds and thousands of sounds. You don't need that. I don't care who told you that. I don't care if your favorite music producer said, hey, you need to get these drum kits and these sounds, and you need to have this type of workflow. Listen, the only workflow that you will ever need is the MPC one. If you are looking to make any type of music, get the MPC one, get a MIDI keyboard, and get an SD card to save stuff, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to do vocals and stuff, you can get something. I have the Boss RC505 that I'm running a microphone into, and I can record right into the MPC one. And it's just crazy, man, when I think of what we have at hand to work with. But there's no one really creating nothing. There's no one really putting out stuff. And I will be here really soon. It's taking a long time for me to get to where I can actually do this thing, you know? And I still need a camcorder. I still need other things. But in the meantime, I can be making beats and putting out beats and, you know, just putting out little projects. But yeah, I'm just kind of blown away, you know. I didn't pick the right kits for me, but I picked like a DMB jungle kit and another DMB kit and like this kit that's called Strip Club. The sounds in there it's just, if you would just take your time with 3 or 4 kits alone, if you would take the time with just 3 or 4 of them, you could make hundreds of songs with just 3 or 4 kits. If you're really someone that's willing to put in the time and effort for it. Don't let this new age nonsense kill your creativity or you as an artist. You don't need so much stuff. Find a way to record. Find a way to have a sequence where you can make a song, and that's all you need. You don't need all this other stuff that people are telling you that you need. And for the longest time, I was listening to all that junk. I was listening to people say, you know, you got to get more, you got to have more sounds, and they have to be like really, really good sounds. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You know, don't get me wrong. I would love to have great sounds. But you can take mediocre sounds and put some effects on it and tweak it and twerk it to the way that you want it to sound. And you can make it sound better than sounds that sound really great already. You know, I could sit here, I could talk about this all day. I could talk about drum machines. I could talk about the MPC-1. I could talk about synthesizers. I can talk about music in general, the arts in general, how to put all this stuff together, because it's something that it just fascinates me to my core, and I can't get enough of it. So if you have any questions about the MPC-1 or the Boss RC505 or the Roland JDXI, don't be scared to ask me, because I know a lot about this gear, this hardware standalone gear. The MPC-1, I don't know everything about, but I'm about 80%, 85% there probably. I haven't sampled into it yet, but I know how to do it. I just haven't got there yet, you know, because I'm not a sampling artist. I use my own sounds and I make my own synthesizer and instrument melodies myself, and I make the sounds myself. No, I didn't make the sound, but I put it together. You know what I mean? I tweak it to my liking. You know, I don't really sample other people's music, you know, and stuff like that. I might sample a voice in the future, but I don't like to sample, because then you got to get it cleared and you got to have permission and all that. I don't want to go through all that stuff. I just want to make music. And listen to me. Keep thinking of less is more. Less is more. To me, less is always more. People think that more is more, because you have more sounds, you have more drum kits, you have more synthesizers, you have more instruments that you're going to make better music. And that is absolutely not true. Now, for some people, yes, it can be true. It can help some, very few people. But I think a lot of us, we're getting discouraged. We're getting overwhelmed. And then what are we doing? We're giving up. When we get overwhelmed, we're giving up on our craft. Don't let it overwhelm you. You know? So anyway, that's what I have for right now. I could make, hundreds of videos about the MPC-1. I could talk about sequences. I could talk about sounds. I could talk about stock kits. I could talk about, attack, decay, release, sustain. I could talk about effects, the connectivity. There's so much stuff to talk about with this, and there's so many elements that go into it. And I don't think a lot of us are thinking outside of the box. We're thinking inside of the box. We're thinking of, well, how much can I put on there to make it better? No, work with what you got already. Make what you have already work out. That's what you should focus on. Focus on a couple kits or one expansion pack. You don't need 3, 4, 5 expansion packs. You don't need 50, 60, 70, 100 kits. It's not going to help you to make music. I know, because for me, that's what it is. And I know there's a lot of other musicians that are just like me. There's some musicians that are literally using a guitar, a recorder, and like an effect pedal, and they're making great music. So if you can't make something great with an MPC-1, then it's just, I think we just get mixed up here. That's all. So I'm ending it there. If you have any questions, ask me, because I like to have feedback on this kind of stuff. I like to answer questions. If you want me to make a video about something explaining it, I can do that. Let me know. It's as simple as asking. If you ask, you shall receive, So with that, SBN, let it resonate, the SBN lifestyle. Later on.